Hey, last year was a very pancake-themed year on the podcast.
I am so glad we're revisiting this because I thought we'd put pancakes to bed, as I think Jack's about to mention. The location for our Christmas party as a team felt like a conclusion, didn't it?
To go to the pancake parlour.
When we went to the pancake parlour in Melbourne.
Andy was still a bit whingy, didn't you find, at the pancake parlour that it was all pancakes?
Yeah.
I thought I embraced it.
No.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, there was general excitement when we discovered there's a cocktail called the Toblerone. no one could believe that two of the main themes of last year came together in one 11:30 lunch.
And Jack, tell the listeners what Hamish and I organised for as a special guest.
Oh, what was he? The current general manager of Pancake Parlour.
Keep it vague because we promised it'd stay off air.
Yeah. But someone who was there at the beginning and could fill us in on all the
lot of light.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of light on the inner workings of the turmoil that we covered, I think pretty thoroughly last year during the Pancake Wars. I do have something pancake related to Lodge as well, Jacko. I'm really glad you bring it up.
I quickly wanted, because I was a huge proponent of the Pancake Parlour last year. Gave him lots of love, and I loved it as a kid. But then I got a little bit burnt by it.
Your mum did struggle. It's fair. Not everyone in the Post household had such a positive experience in the Pancake Parlour. Your mum struggled with their mix, but
their take-home mix.
Ascertained.
She says it's not the same mix as they use at the Pancake Parlour, and it was also too sticky to get off the pan.
But under cross-examination, we found that she probably didn't put butter in the pan.
Well, actually, by coincidence, I've got another sticky story. So at the end of the Pancake Parlour lunch for the Christmas party, they gave us a show bag of Pancake Parlour goodies, which was the mix, some maple syrup, and a $50 voucher to return to the Pancake Parlour that, when you looked a little closer, was expiring on the 31st of December. So we only had 2 weeks to use it.
That's a festively quick return.
Bianca and I were hosting everybody at our house for New Year's Eve. And on the morning of New Year's Eve, we had lots to do, but I said, we have to go to the Pancake Parlour because this voucher expires tonight. We have to use it.
Surprised you didn't give it to your mum as a Christmas present.
So we did. I took my son for the first time ever. It's his first experience at Pancake Parlour. We loved it. We got all the delicious sweet pancakes. The Alice in Wonderland is my favourite. But then
someone's gunning for a re-up on the vouchers.
Well, then we go to scan the voucher at the end of the meal, and the maple syrup had spilt into the show bag a little bit, and it was stuck onto itself. And when I opened the voucher, it ripped the barcode. And they would not honour the voucher.
Yes.
Which, might I add, we ordered strategically for the whole meal to equal about $50. So that there would be no transferring of money at the cashier, but I had to pay full price for the...
What did you try to send it upstairs? What was that moment where it wouldn't work?
You would have.
I tell you, it was looking at my wife in the eyes and they're saying, the guy upstairs will know, and
you'll remember me.
Like, let's just pay the money. Yes. And so she wouldn't let me escalate it. But had I been on my own, or if she'd already been at the car, I would have.
Oh yeah, you'd have been a lie down protest.
Then sued them.
Would have been like the environmental protest where you just glue yourself to the counter with maple syrup. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving until you honor this.
Great update, Jack. Hayne.
I hope in my heart that they actually did that. They were like, chuck a few of those syruped vouchers in. It gets them every time.
Hayne, your update.
Okay. Let's leave the Pancake Parlour behind for a moment because this was given to me by my friend of mine, Dan, and she was like, "Hey, you still doing pancake stuff on the podcast?" And I said, "Look, we do other stuff. Just ask ChatGPT. Like, we do keep it fresh. We have Andy's still got 9 other topics he might hit,
but we play to our strengths.
We play to our strengths, and we follow mandates."
Yes.
But I said, "Yeah, look, we of course by default have sort of become a place for pancake complaints to go. Which meant I've got a bit of an issue with the shake and bake pancake."
Oh, yeah, okay.
I said, look, if it's the sticky thing, we did ascertain. That was really just Jack's mum.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, I can't do this. She's onto something. Okay.
So this is shake and bake you get at supermarkets?
And I'm going to have to name and shame the brand because you gotta.
You got to.
Greens, one of the bigger, more popular brands of shake and bake.
And often you put water or milk or an egg inside
the line.
To the line, and then you
to
shake
the line.
it. Yep. Pour 'em in.
Not often, Ando. Always.
Okay.
That's how you do a shake and bake. Jack, you with me
You're
there?
right.
You would have
I'm
shaked
following
and
you.
baked.
Yes.
Sometimes it's an embossed line on the plastic of the jug.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you can only assume to save money and the extra cost of embossing the jug. It's a printed line on the label of the back, and you fill the water up to. Then you have to sort of gauge it by eyesight. And you worry, you do have that like, oh, what if they put the sticker on wrong here? Is the line going to be wrong? Is the mix going to be wrong? But you still take it because that's you're buying cheap pancakes, and that's fine. On the back of the Greens shake and bake pancake, and we are looking here at the cinnamon donut Temptations range.
Mm-hmm.
The instructions are this: preheat frying pan and grease well. Jill. I mean, that's on the back of the pancake parlour ones, but this is just normal. They assume people will do it.
Yeah.
Shake the bottle to loosen the dry mix. That's fine. Add 300 mils of water and replace lid. There's no line. You have to measure your own water.
Oh, yeah, right. Okay.
And so Dan's going, what's going on here? You have to measure your own water.
Yeah.
That's cooking. That's not what you buy shake and bake for. If we're measuring, we might as well just make pancakes. So we've got all the measuring gear out. The whole point of shake and bake is we're taking care of the measuring for you. It's all in one system.
Okay.
They've now outsourced the measuring to you, the consumer. That is not your job. That is not your job for shake and bake. They said, all right, this is a bit of a travesty, especially when they're billing on the front that this is a premium pancake mix. I mean, you can't bill a premium pancake mix if you're outsourcing the measuring.
Well, you know, like during COVID, a lot of the restaurants kind of half-made meals, and you had to do the end. It was like making you feel like you're doing something.
Oh, you think it's part of the experience?
They were shake and baking a premium.
I think it was finish at home.
Yeah. Do they think that they think by premium they're giving you a little bit of, something to do?
No one's enjoying that.
Okay.
How's this though? Then she goes, look, I thought I was overreacting. Then look at this. Shook it up. It's full of choc chips left stuck to the packaging on the inside. So the mix has chocolate chips in it.
Yeah. You
shake it up. They're stuck to the inside. Look at that. I'm like, that is terrible. So 300 mils isn't the right consistency to get the choc chips out.
Moving.
Of
I'm seeing that.
The packet. There's literally 50 choc chips stuck to the inside. You can't get them out, Jack.
Yeah, well, that's my problem with shake and bakes in the first place is you never get all the powder. You can never get down into the corners, no matter.
Which is fine.
You shake all day.
Fine, but if you're including, if you're including a treasure like a chocolate chip, you've got to understand the disappointment that's going to arise, especially when you've got a see-through package.
Yeah,
you see the chocolate chips on the inside, so it's taunting you that they're in there. But then this is for the real knives out / glass onion fans amongst us. Hang on, didn't I say the flavour was cinnamon donut? What's a choc chip doing in a cinnamon donut flavour anyway?
Yes.
So the crimes against pancakes stack up here with this. This is like
intended.
Well, they don't stack up because you can't make pancakes. Yeah, but true. Yeah, but I was shocked that this is what Greens is putting out as an acceptable form of pancake.
Yep.
You would think if you get a job in the shake and bake department at Greens, that is one of the most coveted jobs in the Greens empire.
Yep.
I don't really know what else they make, but I think it's more to do with isn't it food colouring and cake?
No idea. Never heard of them, to be honest. But,
it's like packet mix and, vanilla essence and...
Right.
Well, that would be... You'd start there. You'd start in food colouring.
You'd work your way up.
And you'd be dreaming of the shake and bake department. Yeah. And then to get there and to invent a flavour called cinnamon donut that you put chocolate chips in and you don't bother putting a line on the packet for... I mean...
Come to us in writing, Greens, to defend yourselves, because...
The last thing I want is obviously to start the year and get someone fired from their job. But I can't see how
this guy can retain his position.
They could keep their job. I can't see it.
Guys, I saw the weirdest thing during the government mandated break. In fact, you're not going to believe me.
Someone podcasting?
No, not as wild as
Check
that.
thy eyes. Would have been a mirage, sir.
I actually think it's crazier than seeing 4 people that looked vaguely like Guy Sebastian.
Which never happened because it started as 2 and then every time you retold the story, it got more Guy
Simple
Sebastian.
explanation. Look-alike contest on. Caught him either going to or coming from. Simple explanation. Now, if you're about to tell me you saw 3 Tiguans in a row, my dad's model of a car my dad drives, very hard to get, as verified by a Volkswagen dealer.
Yep.
My question to you is, are you sure it wasn't a T-Cross? Because they're a similar model.
Not Tiguan related. In fact, I'll tell you both what happened.
Mm.
And if you believe me, you have to say, the first thing you have to say is, I believe you, rather than any shocked. And I'll turn to you, Jack, and you can say, I believe you, okay? So I'm at Bunnings.
I believe you. Probably getting something to pop up on Instagram to prove it hasn't lost touch.
No.
Before asking.
A stage going to Bunnings.
Before asking if there's some sort of butler service that can fetch tools for you.
I was actually there for the third time.
Before calling Makita going, yes, I'm just here looking at the stuff I want for free. Send us this.
Pretending to eat a sausage through the bread, then getting out his knife and fork when the cameras are away.
I was actually there for the third time because I bought the wrong plug 3 times, a laundry plug, and had to go back. And sausages were on. So I decided to reward myself with a sausage per visit. And I was lining up.
You're accidentally incentivizing failure, aren't you?
Yeah.
On some level.
Yeah, I was. So you're right, I shouldn't have. I should have.
You should punish yourself with no sausage for being a silly sausage and getting the wrong plug. When we say laundry plug, what do you mean? For the sink?
Yeah.
Whole trip.
Well, yeah, because we broke. I actually broke the laundry plug, so I went back to get it replaced, and then got the wrong one.
Jam a sock in there. Anyway, sorry, I'm frustrated
I would just wait until there's like 3 things.
I always need 5 things minimum from Bunnings, and then I buy 20 because it's exciting. But I guess I'm just slightly peeved, Ando, because I'm in the legal offices every damn day of the holidays. Trying to fight the mandated break, and then I find out you've got time to go for 3 plug trips to Bunnings.
Yeah, I was originally getting pickets and signs.
Good. Getting
placards,
tiki torches to stand outside the Ministry of Podcasting. Yes. Very good, sir.
Anyway, so I thought I'll line up for my 3rd sausage, right? And I'm behind this person in the line. The person in front of me says, "Hi, can I please have a Bunnings sausage? No sausage, please."
I don't believe you.
I don't believe you. I can't believe you. Did they say can I have a Bunnings sausage?
Yes. No sausage.
They're not selling other brands. What do you want? You want to have a Mitre 10 sausage? Oh, I wouldn't. We're at a Bunnings. They're pretty old, those ones.
Quote unquote.
No sausage.
No
so
sausage.
A piece of bread.
Onions,
an onion sandwich.
And mustard. The man...
What do you charge for that? What do you charge for that?
Well, it was the same price because it was $2 a sausage.
But there's been no transfer of sausage.
It's true. The man didn't blink.
As if he got it regularly.
It must have happened. But I expected him to qualify. Hang on. You sure you just want a piece of bread with sauce and mustard? There's always so few onions.
I understand there's a vegetarian issue here. Obviously, if you're veggie, you're starving, what do you do?
Yeah.
It is a sausage sizzle. It's going to contain animal products.
Yeah.
In that case, I don't even think they would be vegan, those things, because there's just no way. They're not really veggie because they're all cooking it on the same grill anyway.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Assuming there's a separate thing for the onions, you would have to, if I was a vegetarian, I would say you wouldn't order it like that. That's probably the bit I'm struggling with.
Exactly.
If you're starving, I would say, look, I'm a vegetarian.
Exactly.
So give me
some bread.
The quantity, give me a sausage level of onions. Give me more onions than you've ever seen before in your life because I'm not buying a sausage. Give me $2 worth of onions and bread. That's how I would order it.
Make it feel like a sausage in the hand, but it's onion.
Exactly.
That's right. Wait, pound for pound, give me a sausage worth of onions, please.
Instead, they asked for a Bunnings sausage. No sausage, please. Told you wouldn't believe me. But I'd like people anyone that runs.
Is this the bit where you go, because I'm making it up?
No, what I want to do.
I only had to travel there once. I got it right on the first go.
I get my laundry plugs for free, you idiots.
No, I'd like if anyone runs any sausage sizzles of any type, rotary, outside of supermarket, outside of Bunnings.
Yeah.
Has it happened to you before? Because the guy didn't flinch. And it seemed to me as if that's fine. Unless he thought the sale was so good. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
so
when
don't-
you're in an
don't-
auction house and someone walks in and goes, I'll give you 29 grand for that table, and you know it's $1,500. You're like,
Yeah.
don't flinch.
He would have been
Everybody quiet.
looking forward to when they go and tally up the overheads at the end of the day. And then, you know, you assume the crew would have done hundreds of them. It's like, okay, well, we know how many we sold, so we know how many sausages we are down, and he would have been no, guys.
No, guys.
Big news today. We're actually up a fair bit because, well, we sold 500 sausages, so that's 500 down. It's not. We have a surplus sausage. At $2 up because we sold the surplus sausage. We've actually sold 501
Straight to the Christmas
sausages.
party. That fun.
We've done 501 in sales, and we are at only 500 in overheads of sausages. So that's why we're flush.
Good day.
Yeah, that's good. And we are fresh back, just loosening up the shoulders. Nice to be back in the studio.
Yeah.
After the mandated break. Tell me if you think this is an accurate description. For anyone that made it to the beach over summer, we barely did because of fighting the government. But did
And when I was there,
make it-
hated it.
Sometimes I went just to work from the beach on the phone to our legal team. It kind of was the summer of the Coco Cabana, wasn't it? I feel like they boomed this summer. You know the things you can get at Bunnings, like the little tents on the beach?
Oh,
like
we got
little
one for Christmas. Haven't even popped it open yet.
Right. I didn't
Man,
know.
it just seemed like they exploded over summer. We
Getting lots of
actually
nods out here from the
it's absolutely the summer of the Coco Cabana.
Yeah.
I look at being even though I'm 1/8 Italian, I wouldn't say I'm deeply naturally tanned, so I do seek the shade out ferociously at the beach. We went over to Western Australia as a little fam. Went and explored a little bit in Western Australia. Me, of course, constantly working, but still nice to go with the family and let them have a break while Dad works from the beach with all the legal stuff. Got over there and went, you know what? Okay, we're going to be at the beach, like guys. It was just after Christmas we went, and we're like at a shopping centre, and Anaconda had they don't sell the Coco Cabana, I don't think, but they had their own.
So the Coco Cabana is a brand type.
I reckon they're only at Bunnings. Anyway, that's the one with the 4. It's like the umbrella with the 4 fabric things that come down the side that you put sand in.
Okay,
like they're quite easy ups. So, like Anaconda's having what can only be described as an outrageous sale. I think there was a pop-up tent there for like $20 or something, like reduced from like $150. So it was like, oh, well, you know, reduced from like a normal beach tent.
Yep.
I buy the family the little beach tent, right? It does a great job. It's not the Coco Cabana, but it's doing its job for like the 7 days that we're in Western Australia.
Yep.
Towards the end, the bag that it was pretty hard to get back in the bag after the beach, right? That's always the least fun part of anyone's trip to the beach. The bag is starting to tear, like the handle's starting to tear. We're staying at like a Airbnb, like an apartment place. I had a carport. As we start heading back to Perth, I go to Zoe, mate, I'm not taking this. Like, let's just leave the tent.
For the next person.
For the next person, yeah, right. Because it just we're not. You know, it's going to be a hassle, extra luggage. It's starting to break a bit anyway. I think it deserves to stay at the beach. So we leave it in the carport. As we're backing up, the kids are like, the tent, you forgot the tent. It's like, oh, no, that's okay, guys. We're actually giving this tent to the people whose house this is. And we've decided that they can have, no, tenty, that's our tent. We have so many great memories in that tent. Oh, yeah, great, no worries. Okay, we'll get the tent. Just to placate them. So I was like, oh, that's all right. We'll use it. We'll use it back in Sydney. All right, get the tent. Drive back to the airport. Getting onto the plane, right? I go to the check-in person. I go, this can just go in luggage. Like, don't worry about it. This doesn't have to be oversized, does it? She goes, yeah, it's oversized. Oh. I mean, I don't care. Well,
just costing you more time.
Yeah, why don't we just roll the dice on it? And if it makes it, she's like, oh, it doesn't really work like that. Yeah. You got to go oversized. Ugh, all right. In Perth Airport, maybe it's because of like, I don't know, a lot of people coming off mine sites and whatever. Everything that goes in oversize has to be explosives checked.
Oh,
right?
wow.
So everyone peels off and they're going through to the food court. I'm standing in the oversized line by myself, which is next to security. Waiting. It's taken forever because they're bomb checking, explosives checking everything. Get to me and I open up the top of the bag and the guy goes, oh, you have to take it out. I go, no, don't you just scoop around on the inside? He goes, no, you have to get it out. And I said, I'll have it. You have it. It's over. I didn't want this thing anyway. Just have it. And he goes, no. You know, take it. I said, it takes 5 minutes to put it back in. And I'm
Don't give me your drugs. Bag.
So I go, I'm out. I'm opting out of the. This is not my tent anymore.
Yeah.
And I go, I'll just leave it here. He goes, well, you can't leave it.
You can't leave a bag in the airport.
And I go, but I don't want it. It's yours. Give it to the staff.
Lucky there.
Guys, like, no. So I'm trying to have this argument to like de-own the tent. He's going, it's tagged, like that's your responsibility now. I'm not taking it. Lovely bloke next to me goes, mate, don't worry. Because I was like, look, my family's already gone through. We're gonna miss the plane. Really nice bloke next to me goes, hey, you know, don't worry, mate. I'll take the tent. My folks just dropped me off. He points back like 20 minutes behind us. I'll just give them the tent. They live here. I went, oh, mate, what a legend. I go through security. Do the rigmarole, packing everything back up. Security guy comes up and he goes, excuse me, are you the man with the tent? I said,
not anymore.
I said, no, not anymore. I gave it to some people because they don't want it.
They can't de-own it.
I go, no. He goes, yes, they don't want it. They had a look at it. They don't want it. Like, well, what do we do? He goes, we can't leave it at the airport. I said, but it's not mine anymore. It is. It's yours. They didn't accept it. So I think
guy in between did.
Yeah, I do agree. I think it was the middleman who was the technical owner at that point.
Yes.
But he had been such a legend. So I was like, oh my God. So I had to go back out of security, line up again with the tent, get it bomb checked, squash it all back in. I'm like, I hope you get lost somewhere over the Nullarbor tent. Put it in the thing. We fly home, whatever, and get to the like the luggage is coming off in Sydney. The kid's like, "Where's the tent?" I said, "Oh, don't know, guys." I was like, this tent is in a race now between our last bag, and seeing it on oversized. Because if I didn't see it, I'm not hanging around for that tent. We get our luggage, not a peep out of oversized. We're out of there. Next day, I'm getting all these missed calls. All these missed calls from Qantas going, we've got your tent. How can we get it back to you? I said, yeah. Do you courier it out? Isn't that what happens with lost luggage? Don't you pay for the courier? They go, yeah, but not unclaimed. Yeah. You didn't claim it. Yeah. We didn't lose it. You didn't claim it. You have to get it. It's like, oh, yeah, I'll try and get in next week. I've been through 4 rounds of calls. I've been through 4 rounds of calls from Qantas with them going, tent's still here. I didn't get in. I didn't get in. I almost feel like now, like I actually feel like I have to get the tent. It's still at Qantas. I feel like I have to get the tent back because it's sort of like all of this difficulty, something magical will happen with the tent down the track. Like, don't you think this feels like an origin story?
Oh, yeah. It feels like it could be the greatest giveaway we have for this year.
It feels like I tried so hard to get rid of this tent and it found its way back to me.
Tent magic.
But something amazing will happen with the tent now.
Yes. It's not.
And now I feel like, should we give away the chance to go and pick it up? That would be cool. And as if the break wasn't upsetting enough for you with the government blockading our efforts to get back on air sooner.
Just got over it.
Unfortunately, we continue to upset you.
Oh. Everything is neat and practical, 'cause that's the way he likes it. But what if it wasn't? Upset Andy.
And so many came in over the break.
I feel sorry for the ones that fall on my side of the fence because obviously the emails get split 50-50.
Yeah, hood over the head, taken out the back, buried. Well, it gives me an idea of how many are coming through. I'm sure they are very neatly and mopped up afterwards. And you go back to the drawer where you have your, assassination gun and you take it apart and clean it neatly and put it back together and sit down and watch some French crime dramas. Sipping a Pinot. I'm sure they get taken care of very, but it does give you an idea of how many are coming in because I'm only seeing half and there is more than enough to go from here. Lee, ahoy. Do you have something to upset Andy?
G'day, guys. I've got something that upsets me absolutely terribly. that my wife does.
Yeah.
You know, I very rarely get to go shopping with her, but when I do, I absolutely hate it because the first thing she does when she walks into Woolies or Coles is go straight to the freezer aisle, and always the first thing that goes in the shopping trolley is the ice cream.
No.
And then from there, she goes and leisurely strolls around the whole rest of the shop, every aisle, up and down, round and round.
No.
Sometimes you just got your pattern, Ando. So maybe you just getting your pattern and you do it the way you like to do it.
Particularly in summer, doing it last, maximise the fact
It'll
that-
refreeze.
But then you get the kind of, the weird,
Yeah, the melty bit.
melty kind of refreezy bit
Yeah,
on top.
that's the bit you eat while you're serving it up. That's the chef's treat.
It's a bit icy. That has upset me, Lee. And I don't think it's grounds for divorce, but tell her she's on a stern warning.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lee. Appreciate that.
Tegan, ahoy. You got something to upset Andy?
Ahoy, boys. Welcome back from the government-mandated break.
Oh,
Great to be here. Huge relief.
This one's particularly heinous. My husband, he just got a new phone over the break, and when he was setting it up, he lost his original photo of his screensaver, which is a picture of our daughter. So instead of looking back for it or asking me for a copy or something, he took a screenshot of his lock screen on his old phone and sent it to his new one and said, that is his screensaver. So now it's the same picture, but it's got the wrong time and date with the correct time and date hovering just above it.
Andy's head's popped off.
That's bad.
Can't tell you how much I hate that.
What's the big time that it says?
It's 10:36 p.m. or something.
Yeah. But then the correct time's always floating over it in a better resolution.
Apparently, but
There you go.
I can't deal.
There you go. Yeah, that's very, very hot, that one. I don't
But
like
that's the
that.
thing. But Andy, your eyes are seeing the correct time. They'd be more drawn to the newer time.
Yeah.
Over time, that 10:36 would fade into obscurity, and it gives you the excitement of each day at 10:36 of going,
But what
doubles.
about your widgets with your calendars as well and that kind of stuff there? That might be based on.
Never set them up. Never set them up. Okay, Lockie, have you got something to upset Andy?
Ahoy, fellas. So
Ahoy.
my upset Andy is I moved houses maybe 2 years ago, and instead of going through the laborious, time-consuming task of having to change my Google Maps location to home,
Yeah.
I kept the old one, and because I was still working at the same place, I knew my way home from work, so I'd just go to work whenever I was lost and then drive home from there.
What? Hang on. I'm confused.
Sounds good to me.
So you haven't updated where your home is, but you know the address.
Yeah, correct. But I'm not going to type it in when I can just...
Who's got time for that, Andy?
No.
So when you're lost on the other side of town, what do you put into Google? Home?
work. And then once I'm usually about halfway there, I know where I am.
Okay, so you just use it to point you due east or whatever.
Yeah.
You basically know where your new home is in relation to your work.
Yeah, correct. And I actually, since submitting that, I've changed job and home. Google Maps doesn't know that though.
Google Maps doesn't know that. You're right, man. It
you would have
does.
so much more
I find it
time.
annoying to go in and edit those things too.
So
ages.
much more time
Takes
on your
ages. It does take
hands.
ages.
No, but it takes ages to kind of work out where you are, and that you could have had a far more direct route.
That's a
Yeah, but
tomorrow
you're
problem.
moving. You're moving.
You're moving.
Yeah,
You're
I do
moving.
feel that
You're
sometimes
moving.
when you move. It's
just
good.
move. Just go in the right direction. We'll deal with this. We'll deal with this in the review.
Thank you, Lockie. Absolutely hate that. Chris.
Chris, we got Chris. What have we got?
Ahoy to you, mate.
Ahoy, happy birthday, Andy.
No need.
My wife does this and it really kills me because I think I'm generally the fast and loose one and she's generally neat and tidy. But when she fills the ice tray, because our tap's sort of either low or full blast, she just goes full blast, puts it under it, shakes it back and forth, and puts it back in the freezer. So it's either half empty or full.
I hate half empty.
So it's not completely full.
Yes, that's it, yeah.
No.
She just
So
turns the tap
so-
on. Whatever's in
each-
there's in there.
Okay, so each cube isn't completely filled up. It's a bit of a lucky dip.
Yep, that's it.
hate
This
it.
will infuriate Andy.
Yeah,
I've
absolutely.
seen him fill up the ice tray at his house. He tries to get the bulge of the water over the top, the meniscus. I've seen him wait to add drips And then the frustration if you fail by your own standards on the walk to the freezer.
Well,
I've seen him turn around and go back for more.
It's my own little egg and spoon race on the way back. Be very, very cautious getting it back to the fridge. Yeah.
I mean, I understand fast and loose. I'm a bit of a fan of this swing it back and forth, but I do. For someone that is as time poor as me, I do like to spend the extra second or two
to make sure they're all full.
to let enough water be in the ice tray. So yeah, I can see that would upset Andy. One last one, Fatier, are you there?
Ahoy, gentlemen.
Ahoy.
So look, what I've found is that keeping up with the recommended daily water intake is actually quite a time-intensive operation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to walk over to the cupboard, you got to get a cup, you walk to the sink, you turn it on, you wait for it to fill up, you turn the tap off, and only then do you quench your thirst.
Yeah, that's
So what
true.
I've
After
started
all
doing-
those steps, you're right. You were
Too many
right.
steps, Hamish. It's unbelievable. Now, what I like to do instead is whenever I've done the dishes and I've got a whole bunch of fresh, clean cups, I just pre-fill them. I mean, I'm going to drink them. I'm going to drink them anyway. So that way you just walk over to the cupboard, you get yourself a nice, fresh, cool glass of water and you drink it. You just eliminated all the hassle.
A nice crisp glass waiting for you like it's the Qantas Club or something.
Dust and a few
I
bites.
feel like a Roman emperor.
Cupboard full of water.
That was one of the perks of being an emperor.
I don't know if they ever reach those heights. But wow.
That takes just as long.
No, but I think because you're unpacking the dishwasher, you're there anyway, or you're getting the cups out of the dish rack, like you're right there. And, you invest that time and look at all the time you save down the track.
Yeah, the marginal time it takes to fill all of them at once is a lot quicker.
Yeah.
Right. But
He's
then you
got
get
you
this
there, Andy.
staley kind of dusty water.
Not really. When you think about a well, that's just out in the open all day, all night.
Yeah, but
People
they
are happy
normally
to drink out of those for thousands of years.
Not anymore.
So it's more like an internal, well-protected well. Mini wells. Cupboard full of 20 wells.
Thanks, Fatih.
Really smart, Fatia. Really smart. I'm going to start doing it. Now, you guys have probably noticed I'm a bit frazzled this year. Trying to keep the gusto up, but absolutely on the back foot.
Really?
This year because
I
I'm
mean,
doing
yeah.
something. Well, if I've managed to hide it, then 3 cheers for Hayne because he's absolutely, I'm battling out there. I'm doing something that I've never done before. And I don't reckon, and this is very lost touch of us, but I don't reckon any of us have ever really done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Kids started at a new school this year, which means I'm in the commute. I'm doing a school drop-off. I'm doing a school drop-off. I'm in the car for half an hour every morning, okay? I haven't done the school run since I was in year 8 myself, and then I caught the bus after that. This is a good, what are we talking, 25 years. Because, Andy, you and I, we did drive radio. That was mostly our job. So we were going at midday and we're coming home at like 7 o'clock at night.
Yes.
Missed peak hour. Never had to sit in traffic.
Never. It was one of our mantras.
One of our
Try to
mantras,
avoid it.
don't want to do peak hour. Jack, you'd be similar.
Yeah, now I leave the house at 5:30 in the morning and then come back at 10:30.
Like we miss
Skip it.
peak hour, right? And where we live in Sydney is like it's a particularly dense school type area. I have, like the first day I sat in it with the kids, I was like, all right, guys, we're going to get there at 8:45. Let's really leave some time here and let's, we'll go early. We'll go at like 8 o'clock. Every morning, like I just had an experience. I was in shock. Every morning,
can you get a good run or is it
mate.
just, no?
And there's no rhyme or reason to it. Like some days a bit.
How many
might be
kilometres do you have to
flowing
go?
with it. I reckon we only have to drive about 8 or 9 kilometres and it's taking 45 minutes. Like sometimes there are old people walking on the street that are overtaking you, then you overtake them, then they overtake you.
Yes.
But every morning it is honestly like, in like the movies like Deep Impact or Armageddon or whatever, and it's like the asteroid's coming and everyone's trying to get out of town.
Yeah.
It's like that traffic jam every single day. You expect to see people on the side of the road like with cookers,
Yes.
people standing on the top of their cars, like people just abandoning their cars and wandering off into the woods with like backpacks and guitars to be like, well, we'll just live in there.
And
And it is happening every day. And the first day I thought there must be an accident or this was something wrong. And I'm looking at other cars expecting them to be like, what's going on? And everyone's just like,
They're
that's
sitting there.
the scariest part. Everyone's fine with it. And you're like, oh, hang on. We're not okay with this, are we, guys?
So
we can't live like this.
have you explored all routes or routes?
So here's the
depending
thing.
where you are.
There's not a lot you can do about the traffic. The trickier part is once I get the kids to school, because Rue's in it's her first year of school, called kindy in New South Wales.
Yep.
We know it as prep in Victoria. You've got to park the car and walk her in. It's not a drop-off situation.
Right.
There is no car parking at the school whatsoever. So it's like there's 200 cars trying to park in 8 spots in nearby streets. So the real game begins when you get in the vicinity of the school. And then it's like, right, we are on here. And it's just...
Do you park early? If you see one, you know what I mean? Or do you go...
Yeah, absolutely. Within 500-meter walk, you'll be parking, possibly even more. Like, because you don't know what you're going to get. But I have a high risk appetite, so I'm always
going
fingers crossed. Yeah, fingers crossed for that one spot outside of the school. And those people must get there at 5 a.m. and just never move. So it got to the stage where I was like, did this for a couple of days, and I went, this can't go on, because it was occurring to me like, okay, this could be week 1 of the next 13 years of my life. So we need to do something about this.
Yes.
So I hatched a plan. I went, okay, what I want to do is actually find a nearby house. 1 street back from the school, there's houses with driveways. Yes. And I went, I wonder if I can make an alliance with one of these houses.
Fantastic.
and essentially rent the driveway off them of a morning. And I thought, now you guys tell me, I thought, do I go in at like $50 a week or something? Like that's $10 a day, basically $1 a minute to rent the driveway.
I thought $10 a day is about...
It's high, but you got to make it attractive.
I think if you go under that, I mean, great work on saying a week like that. But if you were saying to someone, hey, just for $2 a day,
it's not even worth like knocking on their door and changing hands.
So you would go along and go, there's no cars in that one every time, so that you don't want to block someone.
I began to scope them out, right? Yeah, these are short driveways with a garage.
Mm-hmm.
And you begin to have a look, right? So when I'm going back in the afternoon, I'd get there a bit earlier and I would park and I'd start door knocking.
Yep.
And so there's basically 6 houses that were my absolute sweet spot.
Yes.
That my absolute prime. I was like, if I can nail one of these, because you can park here, you walk through a park and the school's on the outside of the park. Oh. So I'm doing a bit of door knocking. Hard to get people. Everyone's out because I'm sort of getting there early afternoon.
Yes.
People are at work. People, I'm having a few strikeouts. There was a relative staying. I'm chatting to a cleaning lady on one of the houses. Okay, he's like, oh, so I clean for Paul and Mike, but sorry they're not here. But I'll take your number down. But yeah, they do, because I was like, do they use the driveway a lot? Yeah, they are in and out. It's like, okay. And then as I'm chatting, I hear this bike pull up behind me, and I hear this voice going, "What are you doing?" And I turn around, and it's a good friend of the show, magician Magic Mike.
Oh yeah,
right. Who actually happens to live nearby.
Oh,
and I explained to him, and I go, "You're not close up, within about 800 meters.
Okay.
He's on his bike. He's running to the shops." I explained to him the situation. He goes, "Yeah, good thinking." And I go, "This house over here, though, this one." That's what I want.
Yeah.
Number 53. That's Mayfair for me. That is, I've knocked every day. I can't get him. But if this was a Monopoly board, that's Mayfair. Like, that's the dream. But I can't get him, so I'll take Paul Mall or whatever. Yeah. But I would love Mayfair. Mike goes, yeah, great. Okay, we'll keep us posted. So, yeah, no worries, man. I'm on it. 3 days later, I get a message from Mike going, "We have Mayfair. Call me." I'm so excited. I go, "What's going on?" He goes, "Was riding past Mayfair. The garage was up. Met Cheryl. She's inside. Explain the situation to Cheryl. She's happy to help. I've got her number. Give her a call." "Mike, you're unbelievable." I call Cheryl and I go, "Thank you so much." She goes, "Oh, I met your friend, the magician." So I go, "Oh, okay." So he's done a magic trick on her, because she would have no way of knowing he's a magician unless he produced a deck of cards.
Your driveway's going to disappear for 5 minutes each day on a weekday.
He puts a sheet over the car and pulls it away quickly and the car's gone. So he's done a great job on Cheryl. I explained to her, I said, "Look, can I park there? It'll be 10 minutes a day." She's lovely. "Oh, absolutely, Hamish." I said, "Look, we'll come, let's talk money. I don't want this for free." She said, "Well, look, it's technically council property. So I couldn't charge. I couldn't legally charge for it because it is the front part of the driveway.
Oh.
It's like through the nature strip bit." And so she said, "No, I won't charge for it." I said, "Well, could we come, could we buy you a dinner or something?" That's sort of been, agreed upon. Mayfair's been in play for 2 weeks now.
How's it going?
Morning and night. It is unreal. It is exactly the same feeling you get when you own Mayfair and Monopoly.
Yeah.
It's smugness.
Yeah, exactly.
It's complete smugness. It's like I've got a hotel on Mayfair and I'm driving through this thick snarl of everyone just like losing their mind, triple parked, pull into the driveway. Now, I do get a few looks from people going, what are you doing? Like, that's a hugely illegal move.
Yes.
To just, you're just parking in a driveway.
Yep.
I've had to once say to the owner of a white Lexus 4-wheel drive, I'm friends with the person that lives here.
Yeah, I'm friends with
so because you don't want, but I didn't want to say her name because then word would spread.
Yes.
Which is why hopefully no one puts two and two together here, but you don't want it circulating in the community that you just say that name and you're in the driveway.
Yep.
And then that's what you say in that driveway. I do get a bit of stink eye. I do get a few people going, I don't like that you have Mayfair. But again, that's Mayfair.
Mayfair.
No one likes the guy with Mayfair. That's why you have Mayfair.
Small fun game we play on this pod is these days online, all news has to be negative and salacious. It has to be clickbait. That is the news, the rules of new media. So what we thought, I mean, obviously we're new to the pod for this year and we haven't really shared any news between the three of us.
We haven't. And in this game, though, we'd like to turn news evil. But I'd just like to say, it was just pleasant news, bad. Just like to say to highlight that this isn't who we are.
No.
May I reference a recent incident on the Hamish and Andy podcast where we were talking about Frisbees. Now, initially, that was designed to poo-poo the Frisbee. But several members of the team found some positives in Frisbee lifestyle. In fact, and the most reluctant member of the team,
even the original
by
cringe.
the end, was coming around to the concept of Frisbees.
Exactly.
So we do possess within us the ability to be positive. But that is not what we're exercising in this game.
No, each of us have to have a little bit of positive news we've had over the break, but it's our job for the others to create a salacious headline in a negative manner. Let's jump into it.
Oh,
that's lovely.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's perfect. No, it's not.
Wait a second, there is something wrong with that. Salacious headline.
Do you want me to start, guys?
Yeah, what's happened in your life?
My big fun news for the family is my brother Cam and his partner Bianca had a baby boy.
Yeah, congratulations.
So that's the news. That's fun. Should be fun. Let's see if either of you can turn that into a headline.
Salacious headline in 3, 2, 1.
I would go for Andy Lee approves of new child under controversial no girls allowed rule for babies in the Lee family. Because it is just
It is
boys,
a lot of boys, isn't it?
Only boys in the Lee family.
Cam
Only boy
refuses
babies.
to have a girl again.
And Andy supports it. Let him in. Let him into the gang.
That's very good.
All right,
Jack,
I'll
did
go.
You have an idea?
The 100 Stars brother puts extra strain on already clogged hospital system.
Good.
Very
Drag
good.
Channel 9 into it.
Both of them would be A+. If I was the editor, I'd go, thank you both. That's great. Back to work.
That is what we need. That is what we need here.
Haim, your news?
Okay. What have I got? Okay, here's something I think is this can't affect the world in a bad way. I have been having golf lessons over summer, as I promised you I would, Andy. Been having golf lessons over summer, and I am pleased with the progress.
Okay.
Salacious headline in 3, 2, 1.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Have you had a game of golf while having a beer?
I played then I had a beer.
My headline.
Oh, actually, I have. Sorry, I'd take it back. I'm par 3. Yeah, walked around a few times with beers.
Hamish pleased with his own drink driving.
Oh, clever.
Good. That's a huge.
That would get some clicks.
That's very clickable.
I went for simply Hamish Blake pleases himself on public golf course.
True. Drunkenly pleases himself.
Very good, Jacko. You would definitely win that one. The editor would go, yes, that's what we want.
And I guess I am out there pleasing
I please myself on the golf course every single weekend, and sometimes during the week.
Is it too much to say you're even pleasuring yourself? Because it is a pleasure.
What is pleasure
you
but
get the-
bringing a pleased feeling to yourself?
That is it. If you make that driver make the sound that you've been trying to make it make for
Yeah.
weeks,
Yes.
that's an absolute pleasure. And who provided that pleasure? Yourself.
The game of golf.
All right.
Very good, Jacko. What's your bit of positive news?
Over summer, well, my mum actually retired at the end of 2022, which means conveniently for us, she is available now to babysit Gordy more often.
I love it how he's good news is
Good news for Jack.
Good for me. Okay.
Very good.
Good luck.
Jack. Okay, here we go.
Salacious headline in 3, 2, 1.
Gordon's demands force Jill out of a job.
Fair enough.
That's good. Gold FM breakfast star Jack Post leaves baby with unemployed old woman to continue to feed chess habit.
I don't know. Mum is a big fan of the podcast. I don't know if
We
she'll
love
love
Jill.
unemployed old woman as a descriptor.
We love Jill.
It's meant to be salacious.
As soon as you had that baby, she was a grandma. So that's she knows what happened.
Paying for the first time this year, a lot of people at hamishandy.com asked whether they can participate in this game. It's basically designed to decide whether you're good at small talk, whether at the party, are you the perfect plus one, because you can come into a room and you can chat with anyone, keep the ball in the air in conversation.
This is by far our most requested participation. I think it's because people hear it
Yes.
and then they go, "Oh, it's been years now. No one's stood up as a champion, true champion. Everyone's like, get me in there." We might have to have like a World Cup at some stage of Chit Chat Champion, which I guess would be, I mean, you could just do it as a cocktail party, couldn't you? Just have everyone.
Well, no,
like,
because I think that's too relaxing. I think with everyone's
but
eyes on them,
here's
that's what puts us-
the element I was gonna add. You do it as a cocktail party, right? Everyone's chatting, and you, instead of having a drink, you have a red flag and a green flag.
Yeah.
And if you're talking to someone and it's sort of self-nominated, so if you think they're stumbling or they're not very good, you hold up the red flag and a ref comes and gets them. So it's a bit harsh.
Yeah.
But then you're just circulating through the party. And
Okay, so a ref circulates through the party and just...
and then you move on to the next person if you're reading green flags, and then as you start talking to someone and during the conversation, if they think you're struggling, they
Can I have
red flag you.
Another suggestion?
Yeah.
Party going on. At a singular moment, a spotlight just comes on, two people talking, and the rest is dark. And then everyone else has to stop, but their mics come live to the room.
That's good.
So suddenly you hear two people having to chat, and that's when they know they're on, and they've got to continue their conversation.
Then, this is great. That happens, that spotlight moment happens for 30 seconds. Then there's a pause.
Yep.
And we find out, we know their names. Okay, that was Karen and Jim.
Yep.
The room then votes. The room votes. Who did they like, Karen or Jim?
Or
the loser of that conversation must leave the room. The party.
I like
Wait, so then it's a competition with the person you're having a conversation with, which is meant to be friendly.
I like the way you, just to refine it one more, I think a ref then walks through and just taps one person on the shoulder, which
Jim,
means
we saw your conversation before. You started on the fact about Africa.
Yeah.
You have to leave.
Yeah. And then and
But
Jim,
I just got to briefly
you can't say
mixed
goodbye.
up.
Unlike Survivor, you don't get your 10 seconds to say goodbye. You just have to leave straight away quietly.
You don't always get that in Survivor.
Don't you?
Sometimes you walk out.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's good luck, everyone. I've had the best time.
Yep.
Other times it was, watch Ken, he's a dog. Which different people do take it in different ways. And I actually think we leave that open because it would provide good chat for the rest of the party. Gee, how was it when Jim left? He wasn't happy.
Watch Ken, he's a dog. All right, let's play.
Chitney with your best chat. Natter away. Chit Chat Champion.
Brent joins us. Ahoy to Brent.
Ahoy, boys.
Would you
hello, Brent.
participate in a World Cup style game where everybody's there and there's a spotlight and a ref taps you on the shoulder?
Well, actually, you've got me a bit nervous now. I thought I could, but now, now I'm thinking I might get all tongue-tied with the pressure.
Brent.
Yeah, it's a pretty intense cocktail party. Not too many cocktail parties do you rock up and they go, just a word of warning, there's a conversational referee roaming around.
That's true. Brent, you were unknowingly nominated by your son, Ethan, He
Yes.
listens to the podcast. But thank you very much for stepping up, not probably knowing much
Good on
about
you,
this
mate.
whatsoever. Brent, are you going to be against Ashley today? Ashley, ahoy to you.
Ahoy.
Ashley,
Now, Ashley, would you say you're a veteran listener of Chit Chat Champion?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay.
and what makes
Then-
you a great chit chatter?
I worked as a barista for 4 years and now I'm working as a counsellor at Kids Helpline.
Oh my God, you're on the coalface. And good on you for the work that you do, both in coffee, but probably more importantly, Kids Helpline too.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know about pauses, you know when to leave them, when to fill them. That
Yeah.
really is the game here of Chit Chat Champion. We should run it through for you, Brett. If you haven't heard any,
Brent, sorry.
Brent, we'll put Ash on hold, and then I will start a conversation. Andy will say something. You don't get any cues about when you should start. That's half the game, is being able to sense the moment when you then come in with your part of the conversation. You cannot ask a question.
Yes.
Questions are stalling. Your job is
okay,
to,
right.
yeah, good. Your job is to move the conversation along in a natural manner, hopefully elevating it and making all present interested and happy, not awkward and wondering what you're doing at the party.
keeping that ref off your back.
You want that ref to keep walking, baby.
All right, Brent, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, good luck.
Oh, hey, Ander.
Hey, man.
Hey, question. Have you ever gutted a fish and was it hard?
Yeah, I have, and it depends on the fish.
Well, I've got an interesting story about gutting a fish. I've never actually done it. I normally hand that over to my wife, who's a chef.
Don't look now, guys, but there is a referee snaking his way through the crowd.
Hang on, I can tie the
Brent, no,
He's got you in a headlock.
No, you've had your
He's got
answer.
you in a headlock. The ref's got you in a headlock.
I've got so much more to talk about now.
I know, but it's about that entry. It's about the dive. You know, when a diver
like at the
lands, it makes a
Olympics.
huge splash. He's not allowed to get out of the pool. And keep dancing.
The judges don't care about you doing synchronized swimming once you're in the water at the bottom of the 10-meter platform. It really is about the dive. You can do as many handstands as you want once you're in the pool, but it won't go on the scorecard.
I thought for a second when you said I've got an interesting story about a fish, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go.
I've never done it. Definitely wouldn't qualify as interesting. But
Brent, that's
you may
kind of the
still
game.
win.
You may still win. There's always a chance of it. It is like penalty kicks. Oh, it's not like penalty kicks because you did kick it over the post. But if someone comes along and trips over the ball and eats it, then I guess the one that goes over the post is the less embarrassing.
Okay,
My
so-
opponent's going to have to go pretty bad.
Yes.
Oh, well, you never know. You never know.
Brent,
We
we'll
loved
put-
the gusto. We did like the gusto.
We'll put you on hold. Ashley, are you there?
Hello.
Ashley. Now, Brent went
Yeah.
pretty well. So are you ready?
Okay, yes.
All right. Good luck.
Oh, hey, Ando.
All right.
Hey, have you ever gutted a fish? And if so, was it tricky?
I have, but it depends on the fish.
Ah, really? I've never gutted a fish, but I wondered what that would be like.
How do you
I
feel
always
you went,
like-
Ashley?
yeah. How do you think? How do you think you went?
I don't know. All right.
Yeah, solid. I
Yeah.
think solid. I always get a good laugh out of when the really doesn't match the contents of what comes next. Really? I haven't.
The other thing, Ashley, is I don't think I'd walk away and go, hey, Jack, you've got to go catch up with Ashley.
True. But to be fair,
but
I
Jack-
don't know if she'd walk away and go, you got to catch up with these guys.
No, that's true. But I wouldn't walk up to Jack and go, avoid Ashley. So I think you were
And do you
right.
think that could be the case with Brent?
Well, I think we have to give it to Ashley.
I think we do.
Brent, Ashley is the winner today. Thank you very much,
not
both, for playing.
No, you just, I mean,
Wow.
it could have gone either way there for a moment. Outstanding work from both of you.
Yes, we'll send a token of no value to both of you. Brent, we're going to send you a token, but we attribute no value to it.
Yeah, it's going to come
Okay, thank
void
you.
of value, but you're absolutely allowed to attach your own in your own time.
Oh, very good.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, time for I want to give you an update on a couple of fronts.
Okay.
It's personal, it's sporting, it's professional.
Is it golf?
It's golf related, Ando. It's golf related. Now, as you know, last year was heralded as my year of golf.
Yes.
I put it off for a year. Just wasn't finding the vibe, wasn't finding the time. This year I've started again with gusto.
Yeah.
Started the year and I went, I'm going to get a golf, do lessons, like once a week lessons, and I'm going to give myself a shot. I'm going to give myself, see if I can do 6 months.
Can I jump in here? Jack Haim called me, right? And he said, can I ask you something about etiquette at the golf range?
At the golf range, not the golf course.
The golf range. And
Golf
I
range
hope
is
I'm
where
not
you just
stepping
whack-
what you're going to
No. This is just where you whack the balls off.
Yeah.
You know, it's where you spend a lot of your time when you're starting out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's where I get lessons.
Haim said he saw someone who was just terrible. Right.
Which is rare for me because I'm a bottom feeder.
Yeah.
So imagine that. Imagine a rat seeing someone going, ooh, even lower on the food chain than I. Andy's an eagle, by the way. He's swooping around high, well away from the rats.
Haim says to me, am I allowed to tell him that he needs a lesson?
No, you
Bear in mind, I was four lessons in by this stage, so I'd experienced some of the benefit of
so arrogant, though.
No, not from me. He doesn't need a lesson from me. He needs a lesson from a teacher because he's not going to. Because here's the thing. I'm at the stage of golf now, Jack, and you could get there too. And I know this will sound crazy to you. I'm at the stage where you're like, ooh, I wonder if I could squeeze in a range session today, where you begin to want to do it, right? You're looking at me. I know it doesn't
No,
make
because
sense.
only over summer I went to the driving range and I said to
get a
Becca,
lesson.
maybe this will be a new hobby that I take up. And I just never, after 15 minutes, I had enough fun and I have never thought about going back.
But that's the thing, because you don't know what you're doing. It'd be like getting a bike and just getting your hand and spinning the wheel around, like with your hand and going, yeah, that seems pretty fun.
Yeah, I don't know why people do it all the time,
okay,
but-
and then just doing like twists and stuff with the handlebars to go, yeah, all right, well, maybe it's just not for me because like you do, there is some benefit to learning, to having someone that knows what they're doing, like explain it to you.
And when you do learn, and I think Haim's is spot on. It's like when you do learn and you click, you go, oh my gosh, this is incredible. I know
Something happened to me that I never thought would happen before. The driver, which is the big club, Jack, that they
big whacker stick.
Yep.
Big whacker, Star of Tiger Woods on PlayStation. You know, that's where I had a lot of my driving experience from. When it makes the noise that it's meant to make, and it makes the noise that like that golf is like the and like there's a ding and it like has hit the ball. You can't believe it. You can't believe you've done it.
Okay.
Anyway. I'm in that zone. I'm just in the
Maybe
zone
I
where
should, just for the sake of the podcast as well, and people listening who aren't into golf, it's good to have one person outside of golf so that we don't tumble into a full
That's true.
golf podcast.
We're not going to become a golf podcast. I'm just flagging a bit of stuff here, just letting you guys know where I'm at.
Yep.
Full transparency. The reason I said to that, could I say to that guy, get a lesson, was because I was him.
Yes.
And this is like, he's just turned up like mid-20s. And I reckon it's like, and he seemed sad too. He wasn't having a good time.
I agree with
And
you. He should get a lesson. I just don't think anyone can tell him
I
to get a
didn't.
lesson.
I didn't tell him to get a lesson, but Ando, he hit the roof.
Which is
Four
really hard to
times.
do.
4 times.
Really
It's so hard to do. So, and he was confused why he kept hitting the roof. And I was like, I'm like, you know, the guy that I'm learning from who's become a mate of mine, Ollie, I'm like, Ollie's downstairs.
Yeah, go and just tap him on the shoulder.
Go and see the guy with the big ginger beard. His name's Aussie Beef. Go and say, can I have a lesson? Like, you will enjoy, something will happen, right?
Yes.
Like, you'll get to know. Anyway, I didn't tell him, but that was my question. Look, so this is where I'm at. I'm 6 weeks into my golf, let's call it what it is, career. And at the same time, I think this will come out in the next month or two, right? I have done a TV commercial for Hertz Rent-A-Cars, which is also a passion of mine.
Yes.
You do often
Renting
talk about
cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Renting cars. So
Often-
a bit of a
often-
love job.
Haim goes to me, we're going away on a rental car weekend. And I'm like, oh, cool, man. And just get all the guys together.
Doesn't matter where we go.
Yeah.
Just matters what we rent.
Yeah.
And so I've shot this Hertz TV commercial. Right? This is the bit I've got to admit to you, Ando, because I don't know how you're going to feel about this.
Okay.
So the ad, like with a 30-second ad, you know, TV ads, when you make them, you sort of shoot them over a few days. And each shot really only lasts like 1 or 2 seconds. Like you have a lot of stuff to get in. It's very rare. Like it's a lot of cuts in the ad. So there's this one scene where they just needed me doing something like pleasant or whatever. And the agency and the director or whatever, they're like, this scene, you'll just be sitting against one of the cars that we're showcasing, just having an ice cream, and you say something like on the Great Ocean Road or something, like something beautiful. couple of days before the ad, they go, actually, we've changed that scene. You're now on a golf course, right? So, like, you're on the car's sort of parked up. You can see golfers in the background.
Yep.
You're in golf gear. And they're like, because we've just sort of changed this quickly, do you have golf gear? I was like, well, as it so happens, yes, I've only played 2 rounds, but I have over 10 outfits already because I've been really enjoying buying all the gear. I got 11 hats. Anyway, they look at this shot, the golf shot, and they like the look, right? So they go, well, actually, part of this, there's like the TV component, but then there's going to be like signage and stuff at the airport, like billboards and things.
You're going to be in a golf outfit.
So they go,
your whole
so they go, we'll keep the golf gear. That's a good look. And we're going to do that. That's going to be the main look. So then the next day is in a studio where it was just going to be me in casual clothes. And it turns out, I would say for a significant amount of this campaign, I am a golfer. And I have my first professional golf campaign that's been logged to the point where at first it's just sort of doing silly stuff like with a golf club and like, like a thumbs up, like got the car keys, whatever. Then it's just like, let's just see you do some shots. And it's just got to the stage where I'm like just chipping a ball in the studio and all these people standing around taking photos. I was like, guys, I mean, do you think this makes it look like I'm a pro golfer?
Yes.
Like people who don't know who I am will go, who's this golfer that's doing this ad campaign? And they're like, I don't know, the look is good, the colours are good. So I know you've played golf, Ando, for 30 years. And I know you've never officially done a golf campaign. I just wanted to flag it that I'm 6 weeks in, and I'm sorry if that was a bit of like you were waiting for the special moment, but I'm probably going to be now known, certainly to airport customers, as a professional golfer.
Yeah, at least more of a golfer than Andy.
Yeah, I think that's going to be the perception.
I think that's fun. I think that the fact that you you've rung me from the range, if this had come about 4 weeks ago, I think you've just hit the sweet spot where you've been playing enough that it's acceptable, and you feel like it's going to be your new life. This ad, it's going to be. I
think this actually locks me in.
It locks you in.
Is it very rare on the PGA Tour for someone to do a campaign, a professional campaign, before they can play, and then go, all right, well, I've committed. I've committed now. Now it's like Michael Jordan doing the Gatorade ad and going, well, I'm in all this basketball gear, like. I'm going to look like an idiot if this airs. Like I should follow through and I should learn how to play this game.
If they'd asked you to do surfing,
I wouldn't have put it past them, to be honest.
I would have
could have happened.
That would have been more dangerous for you because I think it's harder to get into surfing and commit to that.
And also there's a look, luckily I have the golf look.
Yeah.
Like, pasty white guy in his 40s.